Welcome to the demonstration of Link2 Spire, an application that links your Spire data with Magento e-commerce. In this video, I will briefly demonstrate all the functionality that the link has to offer. First, Magento is a very common platform being used today for e-commerce sites. And so what the link does, it links your Spire data with Magento to upload customers, inventory, and as well download sales orders. Some of the very popular extensions for Magento that we implement are rental managers, quoting systems, sales portal for salespeople, and hundreds of other extensions available from third-party developments, such as improving navigation, special promotions, shipping restrictions, color swatches, and many more. Amnesty, for example, is a third-party extension developer for Magento, and currently they have 129 additional extensions listed. Magento Link2 Spire is made up of several modules: the customer modules, the inventory modules, the sales order modules, and the settings menus. First, I'll briefly review the settings. General, it's a place where all the settings are specified for a given setup. So the database settings, the API settings for Magento and Spire. Next is the inventory settings. Inventory settings where you define default values for adding inventory to Magento from Spire. And next is the scheduler. So all of the processes in Link2 Spire can be scheduled to run as often as every 5 minutes, including order downloads. A schedule has several options to set and how often and when it should run. For example, if I wanted to run inventory updates for quantity and pricing, I could set this to run every day or at specific days, and I can set it to run at intervals or at specific times. Intervals, for example, I could run it from 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening and run it every 30 minutes. The customer module is made up of the customer manager, customer feed process, the customer approval manager, and the payment terms feed process. First, I'll look at the customer manager. In the customer manager, you'll see all of your records listed for the customers and Spire. And here's where you have the option of setting customers to be online and checking them off and adding these records online. The first option to note is the red asterisk here, which indicates that this record is incomplete in Spire and needs to be completed first before uploading. So I have, for example, a record here for the AA painting company, and that one is set to be online right now. So I have the option of then checking the action button, which now would update this record if I were to submit this job. Next is the customer approval manager. This is designed for a company who has an online option, for example in Magento, under my account for allowing customers to request a new account. So say you have a new customer and then this customer comes onto your website and requests a new account for online access. So they fill in all of the information, and once done, an email is triggered to send to the administrator to indicate that a new account has been requested, and then the administrator can go into Spire, Link2 Spire, to click on Approve New Customers. And what this process does, it loads all of the new customers that have been requested for account approval. And here in this process, you are able to select Approve and add this customer to Magento, or disapprove if this was a request of a customer that you did not want to approve or does not meet the requirements to be one of your customers. For example, in distribution, you can go and disapprove, and that triggers an email that will say your account hasn't been approved, and it essentially can say anything you would like it to say. We also have the option of linking, which is a very popular option. This is in a case scenario where you already have the customer in Spire, and then now they request an account for online access, and you're able to go and link that record up with the Magento by using the linking process. Then here, while approving or linking, we're also able to edit the default values. So for example, if you approve a customer and you want to add this customer to Spire, you may want to right from the start add the correct salesperson to that number. You want to assign the correct shipping method, the warehouse, the sales account, the AR account, the selling level. All of these values can be added before you approve the customers so that you don't have to later on go into Spire and edit these default values. And these default values are coming from the settings page under the customers, and they can be set here as default, and then while approving they can be overwritten. So in this demonstration I will take and approve this customer. You're able to set the customer incremental default values as well, or you can simply overwrite this to whatever customer number you would want this to be once in Spire. So I will now take and run this process. And now the customer approval process has finished running, and this customer is now added to Spire. Next, I'll look at the inventory manager. This is similar to the customer manager, and where you can select what products should be online, and you have the ability to approve one at a time or do a mass export and import by approving hundreds of records to be online. So in this process, I will take and approve one inventory item to be online, and I will select my product code accessories. So these are all of my items in Spire that belong to the product code accessories, and I'm going to check 2 to be online here. In this one, I'm going to check to be updated while I'm running my process, and that could mean that I've updated the pricing or I've updated the description in Spire. So in this process, I will take and add 2 new records and update one of the existing records. And once I've selected what I like to do, it tells me on top here what's going to happen. 2 records selected to be updated to Magento upon saving. After I click on submit, I will see the option to proceed, and it tells me what's going to happen. So I proceed, and now it's creating the feed file process to update these items and adding these items online. And now when I'm going to come to my front end here for Magento, I'll click on my products, I'll click on my accessories. Previously I already had 2 products uploaded, and then now I've added 2 additional ones. These images are also coming from Spire, so if you add images to Spire, they will load here in Magento as well. That's one option. The other option is also to have additional images in Magento and maintain them in Magento. Spire will only allow to save one image, and you can make it so that you can show that image here as well. So literally when that image is updated in Spire, it's real time, so that image will also be updated here online. Next, I'll briefly demonstrate the order download process. What this process does when I click on download sales orders for Magento, so currently I have no new orders, it will go and look for new orders in Magento and will download them into Spire. You can also manually download orders, and like I mentioned before, all of the processes in Magento Link2 Spire can run on the schedule. So you can set them and forget them. Magento is a very comprehensive platform with virtually many extensions that can be used, and as well for design work, which we do as well. Or you can also go to a site such as templatemonster.com and select your template from hundreds of other designers around the world. And again, we can also custom design this for you. This concludes the demonstration for Link2 Spire and what it all can do. Thank you.